This is something for kind of some advice for the ladies in the audience. This is how to increase your dateability the romance comics way. So, because as we all know, romance comics reflect life as it really is. So, and just what must I do to get those? Right. So, everything I'm going to be talking a lot from my notes here, because everything I'm going to be saying is all taken verbatim from 1950s romance comics. So they're a little gender biased, and they're a little sort of on there. There's a little bit of interactivity. I've given out some paper to people, but if you've got pens and paper and would like to take part, there's no kind of prize. It's just a little bit of fun. But if you want to get involved in that would be great, and I'll give you a shout when we get to that. So, increasing your dateability, how do you do it? Well, the first thing is to know your target. And here are 6 different species of the male, highlighted by different ladies. So, which is your dream man? I like the outdoor man, because you're never bored when you're with him. He always knows so many things to do. Being a man who loves nature, he is invariably clean and wholesome. Someone you're really proud to know. Next one. I like a possessive man, because he makes me feel really wanted. I like the way he takes hold of me when another man looks in my direction. When I like someone, I want to spend all of my time with him. And a possessive man wants all of my time too. I'm never in doubt how I stand here. Yeah, it's a shame to the house. It gets worse. I like a man who shows me who's boss. Like most girls, I'm inclined to want my own way, regardless of the feelings of my date. But with the masterful type, I have to toe the line. This is a man I can really respect. Or get a junction out on him. I like the sophisticated man, who takes you to nice places. He dances beautifully. He knows a variety of sports. He knows how to entertain you, and especially important, the right thing to say, making a girl feel wonderful. I like the home-loving type of man, one who doesn't chase around all the time. He's the fellow who sits in front of the fireplace and just talk. He's even willing to sample my amateur attempts at cooking. This is the man I can really relax with and just be myself. In short, he's the guy for me. And finally, I like a man who trusts me implicitly. One who's never jealous that I have a good time with someone else, and who knows that a little flirting does no harm. He knows he's my guy. He realises I would never do anything to hurt our romance any more than he would. So, okay, so you've got your kind of target, you've got your man worked out, and this is all straight from romance comics. So here's some tips to up your popularity quotient. So if you're not feeling as popular as you might be, and are you sure you're being as alert as you could be? Perhaps the fellow who works at the next desk is a little shy. Maybe he's been throwing some hints and you haven't been catching them. No, I detest Chinese food! He's just asking you out. Are you making the most of valuable opportunities to meet young men your age? In short, do you go to places where the young men are? Join a social club, or try your local swimming pool. You might be surprised at the results. This is no time to be proud. Let your friends know you'd like to meet some nice, eligible young men. They're usually very glad to cooperate. I love the creepiness of this guy. He just goes, "This is a pleasure." It's like you just run away from him. So, are you too anxious? Does your whole attitude advertise the fact that you're man-hungry? Be careful not to scare potential dates away with your over-eagerness. So it's kind of, yeah, thanks, yes. I don't really want to meet your parents just yet. So other ways to be popular with the opposite sex are good grooming. One of the essential features in making you a well-liked person is good grooming. This does not depend on how much money you have. Good grooming is cleanliness of person and clothes. A well-pressed clean outfit, shined shoes and well-kept hair is an unbeatable combination. And the other one, of course, is good conversation. Develop a liking for music, arts, current events, etc. A keen interest in these will sharpen your mind and furnish you with a reservoir of good topics for conversation. Too often, a lack of something to talk about has ruined many a prospective romance. Even many a marriage has been ruined by such boredom. Culture is a necessary requisite for success in all walks of life. So what you should avoid is unslovenly speech. Your diction and vocabulary brand you. Slovenly speech makes you a boorish and uneducated person. Your shrill voice in a girl or loud, boisterous voice in a boy are the most offensive manners of speech and indicates a sloppy character. So, attend church regularly. Nothing molds character like religion. A strong belief and faithful interest in your religion is the greatest comfort in times of stress. There are no atheists in foxholes. A statement out of the past war is very true. This kind of dates it. Don't become a pathological liar. I think that's a good thing for life in general, not like dating. Don't make dates and break them. Be honest and be with yourself as you would with others. And join a church group for wholesome companionship. Here you'll avoid the undesirable crowd, often in low-order social clubs like the Bavard Bar. The people you associate can influence your entire future. So it's a little bit of an interactive quiz time now, so if you get paper and pens ready. Will you be a bride or an old maid? So, if you write down just 1 to 6, there's just kind of 6 questions. So the first, and they're just literally yes or no answers, so it's very, very simple, very easy, just put a Y or an N. So the first question, do you believe that love is the only real basis for marriage? So that's either a yes or a no. So you have to do a Y or an N. Do you believe love is the only real basis for marriage? Number 2, do you like to show every new man you meet you're smarter and more accomplished than he is, particularly at ping pong? So do you like to show off, just undermine your date and, you know. Question 3. Do you expect a man to cater to your moods all the time? I just don't know what you want. So, do you expect a man to cater to your moods all the time? Question number 4. Are you outraged or offended when a man tries to kiss you? So, surely it depends on who, I guess. You know? Question number 5. This one really disturbs me. I mean, how disturbing is that image? And how about heavy necking? Do you permit it? So, yes. Yeah, I hear the bloke shouting, yes! Question number 6. Can you say no to a man graciously and yet not lose his friendship? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So has everyone answered those? So if we go back, so if you answered, who answered 5 to 6 questions? Oh no, I have to read out the answers. Okay, so these are the 1950s correct answers. Okay, so you just put a tick or a cross next to yours. So we kind of whiz by. It goes, do you believe in love is the only real basis for marriage? Of course the answer is yes. Do you like to show that every new man you meet is smarter and more accomplished than he is? No, of course you don't. Hide your light under a bushel because it's the 1950s. Do you expect a man to cater to your moods all the time? No, of course not. Of course you shouldn't do that. Are you outraged or offended when a man tries to kiss you? Of course the answer's no. You know. And how about heavy necking? Do you permit it? Not if you're a good girl. And number 6, can you say no to a man graciously, yet not lose his friendship? And the answer's yes.
So what was the answer to
So the answer to?
5.
Number 5 is, of course, no. Of course you wouldn't prefer heavy necking. You harlot. Anyway, so if you answered 5 to 6 questions correctly, congratulations, you've got the perfect score. You'll be a bride. If you got 3 to 4 questions correctly, your chances of being a bride are good. But you just need to do a little more homework. And if you answered 2 or less questions correctly, you'll have to do a real alteration job on yourself if you want to be a bride instead of an old maid. So, okay, so you've done the work, you've found your target, you've done all the work you need on the dating side, and you've found your man. How do you know that you're really in love? Well, again, another couple of 6 questions. So if you flip over your paper, so this is to see if you're really in love with the man in your life. So, question number 1. Again, these are just yes or no questions. So, just a Y or an M. Do you think he's the handsomest man in the world? Yes or no? Very easy. Don't think about it. Question 2. Are you deeply hurt if he shows a marked attention to another girl? Question 3. I feel like I'm going to be causing problems later on this evening. Those conversations are going to be happening. Question 3. Are you willing to give up all other man friends if and when he asks you to do so? It's not if, he's going to tell you that, apparently. Is the touch of his hand always thrilling? Depends where, I guess, doesn't it? Question 5. If he has kissed you, was that kiss a soul-shaking experience? And question 6. Does he dominate your dreams at night? There you go. Yeah, we could go down that road, but we're not going to. So, if you answered yes to 5 or 6 of those questions, congratulations, you're really in love. If you answered 3 to 4 questions as a yes, then it shows a high susceptibility to the man in question, but what you feel isn't really love as yet. And if you answered 2 or less, he's not the real thing. But don't give up. There's a man for every maid, remember. So I'm sure that these handy tips will soon have you bagging that man of your dreams. Don't forget that in 2 weeks' time, it's the 29th of February. This only comes around 4 years. So it's traditionally the day that women can propose to men for marriage. So remember, this is your last chance to get hitched for 4 years. And don't end up like this woman here. Will I be a spinster? I love this. He goes, darling, what have I done? Why won't you say the word, make me the next bride? You know I love you. I want to. I want so desperately to get married, but I don't love him. And yet, it may be my last chance for marriage. What should I do? What should I do? So there you go. So marriage or not, it's up to you. But there you go. Hopefully those hints and tips from 1950s romance comics will give you some advice. There you go.